Right now, your heart can be hijacked by a single face. We call it falling in love. Your heart rate climbs. Your hands sweat. You cannot think straight. And most people assume it's a modern invention, something poets dreamed up, something Hollywood sold us, wrapped in roses and candlelight. But the truth is far stranger. Love is not modern. It is older than marriage, older than language, possibly older than our species itself. And buried in caves, pressed into clay, and hidden inside your own DNA, there is evidence of a love story running 100,000 years deep. So how did ancient humans fall in love? The answer changes how you see every beat of your own heart. Start with a simple question. Did nature build love, or did culture invent it? In 1992, anthropologists William Jankowiak and Edward Fisher combed the records of 166 cultures around the world, from rainforest tribes to Arctic hunters. They were looking for signs of passionate love songs, elopements, secret longing. They found them in 147 cultures, nearly 90%. And the few without? Probably just gaps in the notes. Romantic love is not a European fairy tale. It appears everywhere humans do, which means nobody taught us this. It is built in. So where does it live? In 2005, anthropologist Helen Fisher and her team slid people who were madly in love into a brain scanner and showed them photos of their beloved. The region that lit up was not the part that handles emotion. It was the ventral tegmental area, the engine of the brain's dopamine reward system, the same ancient circuitry that drives hunger, thirst, craving. Love, the scan suggested, is not really a feeling. It is a drive, as primal as starvation. And that circuitry is far older than the human brain around it. Which raises the real question. Why would evolution build this? Here is where it gets strange. In 2009, anthropologist Owen Lovejoy published a famous argument in the journal Science, built around a 4.4 million-year-old skeleton nicknamed Artie. Male apes compete for mates with huge, dagger-like canine teeth, but Artie's males had small canines, like yours. Lovejoy's explanation? They had mostly stopped fighting and started providing. A male would gather food and carry it back to one specific female again and again. And to carry food, you need free hands. So pair bonding may have come first, and walking upright may have begun as carrying breakfast home to someone you loved. We did not fall in love because we became human. We may have become human because we fell in love. And Helen Fisher's work suggests the machinery has three parts. Lust, driven by testosterone, the broadest signal. Attraction, the dopamine high that locks your focus onto one person. And attachment, the deep calm of staying. Three separate systems built for three separate jobs. Find a partner, choose a partner, keep a partner. You can feel them tugging you in different directions. Ancient humans felt it too. But a spark is not enough. Drives fade. So evolution added glue. Neuroscientist Larry Young at Emory University spent decades studying prairie voles, tiny rodents that, unlike most mammals, mate for life. The secret turned out to be two brain chemicals, oxytocin and vasopressin. Boost them, and even a wandering vole becomes devoted. Block them, and the bond never forms. Humans run on the same chemistry. It rises when you hold hands, when you embrace, when you simply sit close. It is why passion can cool into something quieter and stronger. First the fire, then the glue. And ancient humans did not just feel love, they acted on it in ways you would recognize instantly. In a cave in Morocco called Bismoon, archaeologists found tiny sea snail shells, polished, pierced, and painted with red ochre. Beads, made to be worn. They are at least 142,000 years old, the oldest jewelry ever found. We will never know who wore them or who gave them, but long before money, before writing, before farms, someone spent hours making something beautiful just to say, look at me, remember me, choose me. Here is something stranger. The kiss, the thing movies treat as the universal language of love, is not universal at all. In 2015, William Jankowiak surveyed 168 cultures again, this time hunting for the romantic kiss. He found it in less than half of them. Entire societies simply never invented it. The feeling is universal. The expression is not. And the oldest kiss ever recorded? It sits on clay tablets from Mesopotamia, 4,500 years old, described in a 2023 study in the journal Science. Long before anyone wrote a law or a recipe, somebody wrote down a kiss. Sometimes they chose someone shocking. In 2010, scientists at the Max Planck Institute finished reading the Neanderthal genome and found Neanderthal DNA woven into ours. If your ancestors left Africa, between 1 and 4% of your genome is Neanderthal. Think about what that means. Tens of thousands of years ago, a human and a Neanderthal, two different kinds of human, met, paired, and raised families. Not once, many times. Some of those genes still shape your skin, your hair, your immune system. We cannot know if they called it love. But you may be living proof of an Ice Age romance between two species. Eventually, love began leaving evidence on purpose. Near Mantua, in Italy, in 2007, archaeologists uncovered two 6,000-year-old skeletons, a young man and a young woman, buried face to face, arms wrapped around each other. The lovers of Valdaro. Someone arranged them that way. Someone decided that an embrace should last forever. And 4,000 years ago, in ancient Sumer, someone pressed the world's oldest love poem into wet clay. A bride sings to her king, "Bridegroom, dear to my heart, your beauty is sweet as honey." The tablet sat forgotten in a museum drawer until 1951, when a translator finally read humanity's first recorded words of love. And embraces like Valdaro keep surfacing. In northwestern Iran, archaeologists from the University of Pennsylvania were digging through the ruins of a city called Hassanlu, burned and destroyed in a single day 2,800 years ago. Inside a grain bin, hiding from the attack, they found two skeletons, face to face, arms around each other, one hand reaching up, frozen forever, gently touching the other's face. And here's the twist. Analysis suggests both were probably young men, lovers, brothers, two strangers comforting each other at the end of the world. We will never know. What survives is not the label. What survives is the embrace. But let us be honest about the rest. For most of history, love was dangerous. Most marriages were arranged, alliances between families, built for survival, not for hearts. Lives were short. Choosing badly could mean starving. Many of the world's oldest love stories are warnings, not celebrations. Lovers who ran away and paid for it. And heartbreak had no name yet, but it existed. Some of the oldest poems are complaints about it. Romantic love existed everywhere. But for thousands of years, almost nobody was allowed to build a life on it. The freedom to marry the person who makes your heart race is, on the timescale of our species, brand new. And yet, here you are, stretching out behind you is an unbroken chain. Thousands of generations, and every single link is two people who found each other. Through ice ages, through famines, through plagues and wars, not one link ever failed. Every flood was survived. Every winter was outlasted. Some chose each other in passion. Some were chosen for. And some, like the two strangers wrapped together under the soil of Mantua, we will never understand. And maybe that is the point. Love has always been bigger than the words we put on it. But the racing heart, the sleepless night, the face you cannot stop seeing, that machinery was built hundreds of thousands of years ago and handed down to you, intact. So the next time it happens to you, remember, you are not feeling something new. You are feeling the oldest thing a human being can feel.